Did you guys know that painting is probably my favorite part of building an airplane? But it's also my least favorite part, because for me, it's not about painting something and using my skill to get it to come out perfect. It just seems like when I paint something, it's just pure luck. It's either gonna come out great or it's gonna suck. When things do come out nice, it's awesome to take pictures and videos and all that smooth, nice, shiny paint and post it online for everybody to see. But if I'm gonna post all the good stuff like that, I should probably post the bad stuff too. So let's take a look at this bottom cowl. If you look at these pictures, look how gorgeous it looks. The paint is almost perfectly smooth, it's super shiny. It's gonna look amazing on the airplane, right? Or is it? If you look at these detailed close-up pictures, I've tried to capture this the best I could. You can see there's a tremendous amount of dust in the blue paint. And if you're just joining, I've talked about this on 100 other videos. It's not dust from a paint booth, it's kicking up from the floor or something like that. It is coming straight from the gun. And it only seems to do it on the blue paint. If you guys look at the yellow paint, you can see that it is just about perfect. There's no orange peel, there's no dust. The yellow and the white paint spray very, very nicely, but it's just the blue that I have constant problems with. So you can see there's a lot of dust in the blue. It's fairly smooth, there's almost no orange peel, so that looks great. The dust isn't really a big problem. I can lightly sand that and buff it out and that dust will completely disappear. But look what happened here. Now on the right side of the cowling, I got two pretty big runs. Well, I know exactly how I got the runs on that side. When I sprayed the first coat of blue, like I said, I got a lot of dust in it. So after I got that dust in the blue, I figured, okay, when I'm done painting this, I'm going to sand and buff the blue to smooth it out and make it really nice. So since I'm going to sand it and buff it, I want to put on a little bit thicker coat of blue. So the second coat I sprayed, I put on a little bit thicker, and obviously in that spot, I went a little too thick. What I should have done, and what I've done on the primer and everything else that I've painted, is instead of putting on that thicker coat, you just divide it up in between coats. So I should have sprayed the first coat, waited a little bit, sprayed the second coat, waited a little bit, sprayed a third coat to build up the thickness of the blue instead of trying to do it all in that second coat. The reason I think that I did it in just that second coat is because when I was spraying the thicker coat, the paint was really going on nice. Yes, I would still get the dust, but there was no orange peel. It was going on really smooth. So I just kept putting it on, and I think just in that one spot on the cowling, I just went a little too thick and it started to run. Now there are ways to eliminate runs, and I'm going to try this myself first. I've done this when I sprayed the white. I got a little run in the back that I fixed, and it's completely gone. So I'm going to try that technique with this. If I don't think I can get it perfect, or close to perfect, there's a hot rod shop up in Saginaw, Michigan here that paints cars. And I'm thinking I may just take this to them and say, here, fix it, and let the professionals get rid of the run. But I'm gonna try this technique first and see how well it works. All right, so the idea here is to get a razor blade, just a regular straight razor blade. I took it to a grinder and kind of ground off the sharp corners. And the idea is really you just scrape the run as much as you can, and then you sand over it and smooth it out. So I did try the razor blade first, but then I came up with another idea that I thought might work a little bit better. I'm trying this little block here. It's for removing the little nibs, they call them, or dust particles on paint. And it's basically just a file on a wood block. But this seems to work maybe even a little better than the razor blade. So if you can see here, the big run that I had is starting to flatten out. And what my goal is is to flatten this out enough to where I can take sandpaper and sand all this and then, you know, obviously buff it and everything and make the run mostly disappear. Now, it may not be perfect, and if somebody were to come up to the airplane and really scrutinize it, like if you guys know where this is at and you see the airplane, you may be able to still tell that there's a run here or was a run. But I'm totally happy with if I can just get it to the point where unless you're looking for it, you don't notice it. That's all I want to do. Well, after messing around with the runs, I got them the best I could. I didn't want to go too far because I don't want to keep going through the blue paint like I did that little yellow spot on the bottom. So what I'm doing with the whole rest of the cowling is I'm sanding it with 2000 grit paper and then 3000 and 5000. The 2000 will remove all of the little dust particles, and then the 3000 and 5000 will just keep smoothing it out so that I can buff it out with the 3M polishing compounds. Okay, here is the cowl after I've sanded it down with 2000, 3000, and 5000 grit paper. Now, as you can see, this is really shiny right here. I didn't sand that because I just really didn't need to. There wasn't much dust or anything right there. So that's all done. And then over here on this side, somewhere around there was a run. I can't even see where it's at right now. And then here's that spot where I sanded a little bit too much through the blue, went down through to the yellow. So I will design some sort of sticker or graphic to put over that spot because I'm not going to repaint the cowling. Well, I've already made some videos showing you the 3M buffing and polishing products. I've already done the first step. There's 3 steps. So you can see the cowl is already looking fairly shiny. This right here is the second step in the process. You'll notice as I wipe off the residue, each step of this buffing process, the paint gets shinier and shinier. Now this is the third and final step of the 3M process. After this is done, I will add just a coat of wax to the cowl to finish it up. And why is my camera not focusing? Well, I guess I'm pretty happy with it. This is the third and final step, other than the last coat of wax that goes on it. But you can see this front corner, how nice and shiny it's looking. So I'll just finish up the rest of the cowl and it will be done. All right, guys, this is the finished cowling. I am done with the 3M 3-step buffing process. The paint looks really, really nice. It's shiny, it's flat, it's smooth. All the dust is gone. Now, where the runs were, if you would get up really next to it and search for it, there's still evidence of where the run was. It's not absolutely perfect, but I'm happy with it. I think the casual observer just looking at the airplane out at an airport or something would never even see it. I do still have the little blemish where I sanded too far, and now the yellow paint is showing through the blue, but I'm not too concerned about that. It's about the size of a dime, and I will make some kind of cool graphic or sticker to put over that. I just have to figure out what I want to do. I want to design something that actually looks like it was meant to be there, some kind of military placard or something like that. So the moral of the whole story is if you guys are building an airplane, you are going to screw something up. It's just part of building an airplane. I've built 4 or 5 airplanes now and I still screw things up, but just keep in mind, everything is fixable. You can either buy a new part and start over, or put a little elbow grease in, like if you screw up your paint, and most things you can fix. So if you're afraid to build an airplane because you don't think you have the skills, just go for it. You'll screw something up, but it's okay. There's lots of people to help you and there's lots of ways to fix things. So until the next video, which will be the official unveiling of the completed Blue Angels cruiser, I'll see you next time.